So the actual problems with the edge balls in the model is they basically lack of any bones or any manners to actually control the edge balls. So we need to create them, but the major problem is because the shape of the head is different than the sphere. You cannot just attach an edge ball, what is completely spherical, to a head because the head actually have a different shape than the sphere. So it will clip and look bad. So the best way we can actually create a bone here, what actually can work in this kind of head shapes, it's creating a lattice. A lattice is like a mesh what involves another mesh and distorted it, but keeps the actual shape of whatever thing what the lattice have. So in this example, I'm going to try to add some events on Lola Bunny and hope this actually works. First of all, we need to create the actual bones. Will make the center of the edge board rotate. So we're going to select this. Guess where the center is of this thing. Usually it's just guide the actual pupil of size. The pupil of the model, I mean. Select this thing, delete this, and we have the actual ball. I'm going to rename it edge ball. No, it's just edge. No, edge ball. Out. And we're going to do mirror it. Symmetrize. So we have a both in each side of the face. So what we need to create now is the actual edge ball. I chose prefer the peak to create a cube because it's way more uniform than create another geometry. We subdivide it with control and the numbers on the keyboard that activate the subdivision, and we apply the subdivision. Shade is smooth. This sphere is not completely spherical, so there's like a tool over here what makes you whatever object you have to a sphere. I will tell the difference is very slightly, but it's noticeable and will be noticeable in the lattice, especially when you are completely spherical. Now we go to the materials tab and we assign the materials of the edge balls. Right. Alright, it's actually comparing shaders. Now, this doesn't have any UV map. In edit mode, we project from view, in this case bones. We go to the UV editor, select everything with A, and just scale down so to have a more consistent edge size to the original model. Now I need to create the lattice. So the lattice is an object what, like I said, it involves whatever object you actually give it to, but keeps the logic of the object inside of it. So if I actually select the lattice modifier and select the actual lattice model, will rotate like a normal sphere, but once I start to applying deformations to the thing, it will deform with it inside uniformly. So this is very cool for cartoonish characters. Just things like how you have to have an edge. If I has to make an edge work in a character like a Mr. Krabs or whatever, it will be very thin, very large, like this, very ludicrous. But this works and it's uniform, and we can work with any kind of object. Because we distort this thing so much, we're going to delete it and add another one. Lattice. Center. There you go. I'm gonna do actually just parent this and parent the edge ball to the lattice again. And here we go. Now we select these two together and we move it nearby the edge we just created, the edge bones we just created. So this is the part where we need to get rid of the actual edges we have with the character. And select the mesh, select both edge balls, and just delete it. I prefer to separate it so we have it as a reference, but later after you finish everything you can delete them so you can have a comparison. Now, this is the important part. We need each one of these objects be exactly where the bones are, because the idea is the origin point of the edge ball and of the lattice should match the origin point of the ball, so of the bones, so they rotate perfectly in the same origin point of both objects. So I select the the tail of the bone of the edge balls. Select press Shift S, and a menu about the 3D cursor will appear. We go to cursor to selected, and the 3D cursor will be aligned in the center of the pivot point of the bone. We select both objects now. Again, Shift S, and now we go to selection to cursor. That will align the edge ball inside inside the actual bone of the edge ball, so they will rotate around that point regardless of whatever modification we're going to do now. Now, we need to try to fit the edge ball size first. You have to always select the lattice and the edge ball together. So scale up like this. Looks very creepy. Now we need to edit the lattice to fit inside the edge ball. In this case, I'm going to select the data properties of the lattice. I'm going to start to adding resolution. So as you can see, this is a perfect cube, but you can actually add more subdivision levels. Kinda. You can just have it on the side. So in this case, I don't think we need much of them. We need just 2 or 3 of them, like 4 by 4 by 4. But in some models, maybe you need to be a bit more complex, because this character is kind of easy to pose, but another one will be a bit more complex to fit properly inside of it. Now, go to edit mode of the lattice and select the points to start deforming the edge ball to fit inside her edge sockets, like this. I'm just going to go select this and try to move it inside here and there. Here. We're going to lose in a lot of vertices here. There you go. As you can see now, the edge sockets actually fit inside her edge ball pretty nice, like that. See? This is what I mean when maybe we need more resolution. It's like this part is too flat, so we maybe need to add another one. This is the U. Yes, now we can move this over here. Maybe another one, so you have another one here. There you go. And pull it forward. Now, as I said, the lattice will keep the shape of the edge ball no matter how much you rotate it. And that you have one edge. Now you have to repeat the process to the other edge ball, but it's quick. It's easier we duplicate this thing and mirror to the other side. I think the pupil is too small. I'm going to increase the UV. There you go. Now looks properly, or looks like you properly. Now we're going to rename these two components. We have the cube, what is the edge ball, edge ball L, and this is lattice. Lattice L. They're not parent to each other yet, but will be soon. Now we're going to select both of them. And this is the part where I get confused. Oh yeah, we need to move the 3D cursor to the center. Now we need to select the 3D cursor as at the pivot point. Go to Scale tool, Shift D to duplicate. Resize the scale when you select whatever handle you have here. Resize the scale to -1, so it's actually the opposite one. We have it. Now, because this thing is kind of mirrored and the scale is inverse, we're just going to just scale to 2. Now they're not totally mirrored. Maybe the lattice is mirrored, but we're not going to change that because will be deform badly the edge wall of the other side. Now we need to select both lattice, the left and the right. We're going to rename this later. You know what? This is edge wall R, and this is lattice R. So we're going to select both lattices and select the skeleton of the mesh of the model. Once we select them, Control P. No, wait. Go to pose mode, select the bone, and press Ctrl P again and select the bone. So we need to parent these 2 objects to the bone of the model until we deform it. Now you can see the edge bars are not moving, and that is because the edge bars need to be parented to the bones of the edges properly. Select the edge ball, then select the skeleton in pose mode, Ctrl P, and select the bone. And if you rotate the bone, the bone will be moving the edge ball. We do the same to the other side. Select the bone, select the skeleton, pose mode, Ctrl P, bone. And now we can move both objects like this. Very nice. Now I notice the axes of these things are kind of ill, looking in a very different direction. So we just align them like that. So the x-axis are more sense. This is -90. This is usually -19 in both sides. This is just the negative, so should be not doing that in post mode. Yeah, that thing used to be before we parented. We're going to clear the parent just to be sure. Relations. The parents are always in the relations tab here. You can parent them using things like child of, but maybe it would be cool if we do that now, but clear the parents. Now we're going to reparent them again. Ctrl P. Boom. Select the other edge bar. Select the mesh, the skeleton. Ctrl P. Boom. And now you can actually just move both edge bars. If you are using Rigify, this procedure, these steps has to be done in the deformation layer of the mesh of the skeleton rig generated, not in the regenerator. But you have to create the bones, the regenerator, and give it properties so to be manipulable inside of the rig after you create it. So this is the way I use it to make edge balls here. Now, for sake of simplicity, I always move this into a collection. Vertical edge ball, and always try to avoid to touch the lattice things or be visible. They are not relevant. Maybe you want to modify the edge ball, but never the lattice what actually make them deform properly. There's a tiny gap here, but you get the idea. That is, you can control them. I hope that this work.